Okay, it'll work. I grew up first in Rockville, and then I moved in second grade to Bowie. I was raised by two mathematicians. My mother was a special education math teacher, and my father was a mathematician for the U.S. government. They didn't know what a guitar maker was. The idea that I wanted to be a guitar maker wasn't the math major that I was sent to college to be. The moment I remember was that my brother took me to a record store. And he said, "These guys are gonna be huge." And I took the cellophane off the record and I put it on the record player and the needle went down. My mind was blown. I couldn't talk. I had just heard the first Hendrix record. My mother brought home a record with 4 guys in turtlenecks with long hair. And the long hair was offending at the time. It didn't make any sense to me. But that music made sense to me. Most people got into guitars because they wanted a date. I got into guitars because I loved the sound and because I loved the way the music was. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I couldn't believe the sounds coming out of these guitars. So the first time I took a guitar apart in my bedroom in Bowie, I was blown away. There was nothing in it. There was 2 pots and a capacitor and some wires. I'm like, wait a minute, there's nothing in here. And then I became a guitar repairman at Washington Music Center, and by then I was replacing all the parts and knew how they worked. You know, the question about how did I make my first guitar, the first guitar was like being in a cover band, you know. You don't write your own tune the first time out. You play Proud Mary or something, you know. It was like another guitar. So it was a learning experience. It was like being in a band and learning new kinds of tunes. At college, when I left to be a guitar maker, my friend said, "You might have a chance, maybe." And for me, that's been part of the struggle of this company, for us to fight for airtime. Well, I've always been very cognizant of what my teachers did, whether it be Ted McCarty at Gibson or Leo Fender at Fender. So for me, it was about learning from the past and then trying to improve on them and make them more applicable to what an artist needed today. Believe me, if John Mayer or Carlos Santana or any of these people wanted to play an old guitar, they got the money to do it. It's not the problem. That's not the issue. I once asked Jimmy Herring, "Why do you play a PRS?" He says, "Because it'll do things my vintage guitars won't do." And I thought that was a beautiful answer. What's my definition of a visionary? I mean, by definition, somebody that has an idea of what the future will bring. To be the bus driver who can see far ahead and, you know, down the road through the fog. I don't really use that term around myself, but my hope is that people will look at this company that way. You know, I never really dreamed about doing it professionally. That wasn't the deal. The dream was to make artists happy with the guitars. I knew if Carlos Santana played a PRS, I had a chance at a income. I didn't want to have a family and not make enough money for food or the house. So in a way, I was forced into making it into a business because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to be responsible to my children. Now it seems somehow it works. Somehow the company's doing well. Somehow we have 450 people and doing $100 million worth of business. It wasn't planned to set out to do that. It was planned to try to take care of each other. That's what it was planned to do. Well, what am I most proud of in my family? They're not going to say rat about me as a guitar maker when I die. They're going to talk about being a father, a husband, uncle. I'd like them to write on my gravestone, good family member. That's what I want them to write on my gravestone.